Welcome back. Today I want to talk about where you can publish when you're self-publishing. So there's a bunch of options, but basically the big thing that you're going to hear about from most places is KDP. And so I'm going to talk about whether or not you should KDP or not KDP. And then I'll give you the option that I'm using, which is not KDP. So KDP, just to get it out of the way, is Kindle Direct Publishing. Um, Pretty simple. It's Amazon's solution to self-publishing. They have kind of all the options as far as paperback, digital, hardcover, and there's some good things and there's some bad things about that. We'll talk about those. So let's start with the pros and cons of KDP. I think that a big pro, obviously, is that you are publishing on Amazon, which is the biggest bookstore in the world. It's going to allow your book to be in front of many people, and in some ways, if you're publishing on KDP, you're probably prioritized a bit higher than if you're not. But as far as like getting ranked and stuff, but ultimately, um, that's not the only thing to consider. So a con is that it's pretty much the only bookstore you're going to be on. Um, Individual, retailer, your local bookstore, they don't want to deal with Amazon because Amazon is putting them out of business in a lot of ways. So they don't want to give Amazon money. They don't want to buy from Amazon if they don't have to. And so, unless your book is wildly popular, they're not going to do anything with it. And even if it is wildly popular, I'm not sure that they'll do anything with it. Another pro is that you can publish for free on Amazon and start making money, and it's pretty simple to do. Um, Also, the last pro that I think we should talk about is Kindle Select. Kindle Select is their program to talk about to help you kind of promote it. It allows a couple things. So one is if you are on Kindle Select, you can have your book on Kindle Unlimited, which is their subscription service. So anyone that has that subscription service can read your digital copy of your book, and you get paid per page read. It can be that could be a great option, especially at getting people who don't necessarily want to commit to buying a book from a self publisher, but they can do it as part of the subscription. They may at that point they already have, and you'll make some money. I don't know how much money that is. It, it kind of breaks down to individuals, but also it can vary. Like you're taking part of the pool of money, um, and so like if the pool of money for August is $1 million, you're getting whatever fraction of that. If it's September is 2 million, you're getting whatever fraction of that, and it's based on how many pages read from your book versus how many pages read across Kindle Unlimited. And I think uh, it's tempting. Um, this other option with the other benefit of Kindle Select is that you can run promotions on your digital copies of your book. So you get 5 days where you can give away your book for free. Um, and you don't have to do them five in a row. You could do like Black Friday or Cyber Monday or any of those days. You could pick those. You could pick the launch date, whatever, and that allows you to say, to shout out to your audience like, hey, it's going to be free. Please go download it and just and give me a review. That's a great way of handling the promotions. It also lets you give promos, so you could say, hey, tomorrow it's going to be only 99 cents. There's a lot of, I think they're called hybrid self-publishers. So it's like you've done a lot of the work, but you pay them and they'll do some of the work. So they'll do some editing, book design, like actual formatting and cover design and all that stuff, and they'll do some marketing for you. But you're paying them, and I don't know. I didn't go that route, so I don't know what the success rate is there. I don't have that information for you. I am skeptical of it. That's why I haven't gone that route. And then I also know that, so I did talk to a bunch of these hybrid publishing places, and one of the things I learned about was Ingram Spark. They all advertise that they can sell your book, get your book on Ingram Spark, which is where Ingram is a company where a lot of bookstores buy from. The majority of bookstores that I've been seeing as I've been doing this process mention Ingram as like, is your, do you want to carry you want us to carry your book? Is it on Ingram? And the answer is yes on in my case. So that's going to be helpful when I'm reaching out, or when you're reaching out to local bookstores and trying to get them to carry your book. Ingram is, I think, a pretty useful tool. It's not the greatest structurally, but it so the benefits are, you might think like, oh, if I'm not on KDP, will I not be on Amazon? That's not the case. If you're on Ingram Spark, your book in all versions can end up on Amazon. So my hardcover is, my digital copy is, but I'm also on the Barnes and Noble website. I'm not on a Barnes and Noble store, but I'm on the Barnes and Noble website as far as digital copy and hardcover. That's a big benefit to it, and also when I go reach out to stores, like I said, Ingram Spark is, they're saying, okay, well, we can order through Ingram. That's great. Ingram's great. So I recommend going to Ingram if you can. I think that it is going to ultimately be the best way of having the most options. That's not necessarily your goal, but my goal is I want it to have the most options possible. I know that like the wide audience of Amazon is tempting, but still gonna get the, if someone trusts Amazon, they can go find my book if they've seen about it other places. But you can also find it on Barnes and Noble. You could go into a Barnes and Noble store if you have customers or family, friends, whoever that aren't necessarily going to be, they're not going to want to put their information out online. You can go to a Barnes and Noble store and say, I want to pre-order this book, or I want to order this book. You have it on your website, and you can order it and pay in store instead of paying online. So that's another great reason to not pick KDP. It also, and here's another thing, is like it goes to a lot of other retailers other than those two. You get bookshop.org. It automatically picked it up when I did it. Bookshop.org, I don't know if you're aware of it, is a website in which you can support indie authors, you can support big authors, but you can also support local bookstores. So like, my local bookstore, there's a bookstore in Apex, which is near me, which is, it's literally like a small hallway. They might have 200 books. So they're not going to have everything I want. But if I wanted to support them and wanted to buy a book, I can go on bookshop.org and I can say, okay, I want to buy The Dinner Party. You give credit to the store that you want to purchase through. So let's talk about the negatives of Ingram Spark. As of writing this, I haven't gone all the way to publication. I'm in the pre-order stage, so I don't have my book out. So things may arise. As they do, I will update you. But as of right now, there's kind of two. There's two cons, if you will, for Ingram Spark, and one is that I think that the software that you use to format is okay. You can get it to look really nice, and I think you can also upload, if you formatted your book yourself, you can upload it that way. So this isn't necessarily a problem, but if you're spending a long time in it, it can log out. And depending on when your last save was, you may have to redo some work. Now, for me, that logging out wasn't as much of a problem because I was going in and kind of editing. I wasn't editing in there. I was changing, like I want the chapter number to look like this. And so and then you kind of save every single chapter. So if I did a chapter and then it took too long doing the next chapter, it would be, it would be, it would log out, and I'd have to just kind of start from scratch on the next chapter. But that's fine. The second problem is analytics, and this isn't a Ingram Spark problem. This is a I have my book on a bunch of different places problem. But it is, if you're on KDP, you know within minutes that what your sales are, because they're only through Amazon. Through Ingram Spark, I can see books that are purchased through the links that I create through Ingram Spark. So I have links on my website. I have a link in the bottom of the video, stuff like that. I'll be able to see those as soon as the sale goes through or within hours of the sale going through. I haven't seen anything from Amazon or Barnes & Noble, and I know for a fact that I have family and friends that have purchased through those sites, and so I don't know what the number is because I haven't even seen those ones that I can confirm. So is that a problem? I don't think it's a real problem. I mean, also part of that is because I'm in the pre-order stage. Once the orders start getting processed, that speed will be variable, and I don't know if that's going to be monthly or quarterly or whatever. I'll be able to see it, but I'm in pre-order, so unfortunately I can't see Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any of those other websites pre-sales. All right, so next time, I want to talk about getting your cover, because I think that the cover is really, it's kind of where it starts to get fun. It is also where it can kind of get a little overwhelming or nervous because it's expensive.